YouTubers, how are you? My little boy today, my wee man, is upsetting me. My wife has showed him the video from Burniston, which is a Scottish, or it was a Scottish, I don't know, is it still going? I don't know. It was a Scottish comedy show. And there is a famous scene of two Scottish gentlemen in a lift. And they can't get the lift to work because of the voice recognition. I suggest watch that video because you will see the pain that Scottish people go through every time you call a company and you've got the robot on the other side. Push this button if you want one. Actually, push the button. We go, yes, thank goodness.
Speak clearly in a loud voice. I'm a robot, but I can understand you.
No, you can't. You cannot. So my little boy today is running about and he's going, 11, 11, 11. And he won't stop doing 11. No, it is quite funny, but yes, check it out. Apparently Siri on the iPhones you can teach Siri how to pronounce things. Not with a Scottish accent. When anything is voice recognition or voice activated, I go into my Dick Van Dyke English voice. Number 9, please. I can't do an English accent very well, but this is what Scottish people have to go through. I'm going to dive straight into this one. This is for the renegades that are watching. This one is Money Game Part 3. It's quite long. It's a big 9-minute. If you watch Money Game Part 2, I've done it twice. I did the wrong one first. I did the one on the beach. And I've now done the other one, which I thought was a great video, but I do prefer the one on the beach. I like watching REN do his stuff. I think he's brilliant. Money Game Part 3, I don't know what it's got to offer. I don't know if it's going to be a production video. I hope it's live. I just love watching the guy do his live thing. He's brilliant. He's really hypnotic. I'm going to write a song in the style of REN. So I've just been kind of fiddling about with some ideas now. I've not heard him do a song that's kind of got a lot of major chords. So far, the songs I've listened to are all kind of minor based.
Rockstar Dead coming at you with a new video. It's Money Game Part 3.
I gotta breathe. Remember to breathe, baby. Breathing's good. Life. Yes. Piano skills.
you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy's
30. Wow, this is mint. This is great. This is great. Conceptual art, right? We're now on Money Game Part 3. We did Money Game Part 1, which was Ace. Money Game Part 2. And we're still talking about the same stuff. Now, some people out there will say this is quite cynical, right? If you want to earn money, does it have to be evil? Does it have to be a bad thing? So that's a debate here, right? He's opening up a debate, but the stuff he's talking about is out there. There are people who have done this stuff. The arrangement itself, the musical arrangement, if you listen to the piano work on this, it's brilliant. It's so progressive. It's kind of taking the same chordal progressions. Let's check the chords out. Yeah. Yeah, we're in an A minor kind of type thing. So we're going to have D minors, we're going to have E7s in there, we're going to have Fs. He's sticking to what works for him, this minor progression thing with a lot of dominant chords in. What I want to know is, was that a trick of the video at the start, or was that him playing the piano at the start? I pretty much think it was his piano work at the start, because I'm sure it's his fingers, unless he's put the rings on somebody else's fingers. If you can play more musical instruments than one, each instrument has an influence on the other and gives you a different perspective for each instrument. So for example, I had a conversation with a university lecturer one day. Actually, the guy was a course leader at a very big music university in Manchester. And we had a little heated debate because I asked him if they offered their music students lessons in other instruments, and he said, no, we just focus on the instrument they want to play and we don't confuse matters. And I said, well, I don't really agree with that, because I believe if you play other instruments, it helps breed creativity on the actual instrument you are on. So for example, if you just play guitar all the time and you copy other guitar players, you're kind of going to sound like a guitar player unless you have an acute ear. But if you are a guitar player who happens to play the trumpet, you're going to know different ways of playing that trumpet, and it's going to start sounding, your guitar is going to start sounding like the way a trumpet player would play a guitar. I don't know if you understand that. I hope it's coming across, but it's real obvious for me now that this guy is a really good musician and he's very skilled in his musical art, because music comes from here, whichever instrument you play. He raps, he can sing, he can play guitar, plays piano, he obviously produces stuff, he can act, he can perform, he's class. The kid is absolutely phenomenal. Only 2 records so far released, 2 solo albums released, because He's had a lot of mental health issues. I'm going to talk about that in another video. I love this so far. Money Game Part 3, and I think it's the final one of the Money Game trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. Maybe it goes on. Let me know. Okay, let's get stuck back in.
His daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval. Moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. 35, he gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion. Heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy. Community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45, Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Serious messages, right? Always serious messages. If these issues aren't spoken about and talked about between everybody, then we still live in this world of showbiz where you put the TV on and everything is okay. Now, we know it's not. We know there's people out there really struggling. I struggle, you struggle, everybody struggles out there, right? And unless these things are spoken about and talked about, it's important to do that. So to get it out in the open like this, like I said, some people would say that's quite a cynical way to look at someone making money. Because what is money, essentially? Well, money is something that we use to pay for our existence on the planet, right? We earn money for our energy we put into something. Sometimes doesn't work though, right? You spend a lot of time on something, you don't get paid anything. So money is an issue with so much stuff on earth, and it's great that this fella is bringing it up in his songs and singing about real life stuff that happens, because if you don't talk about this stuff, there are going to be no solutions to this kind of thing, you know? So I love this guy. I think he's ace, and I think his whole theatrical input is brilliant, you know, that there's a real thought put behind the songs and the videos. And I'm guessing those videos aren't shot in 20 minutes, that they take a long time to put together and to make happen, because I'm pretty sure that was all live, maybe one or two bits. He uses this progressive idea in his songs, that the songs actually progress. They give you something throughout it. It tells a story. It's got a start, a middle and an end, and it goes somewhere, you know, which I think is a reason why so many of you guys love this fella. As I do now, I think he's absolutely brilliant, absolute class. Please stay tuned for more REN videos, for more reaction videos. I will be doing a song in the style of REN with the Scottish rap. It could be really shocking. It probably will be really shocking, but I'm going to give it a go because I really like how the guy's approaching music and what he's doing. Great piano skills in there as well. I'm interested to know who takes over on the piano. That's why I'm kind of thinking at the start, is it him playing piano at the start, or is that a trick of the camera? I don't know. I think, yeah, why not? He's a skilled individual. He's a talented dude, you know. I think it probably is him playing piano at the start. I'm sure you're going to let me know within seconds. Okay, great chatting with you guys again. I wish it was a two-way conversation. I might start trying to do some of the live YouTube videos. Have a little look at Patreon while you're here too.
'Yes! You knows it, boyo!